Hey y'all, I'm Tonya.
And I'm Spring.
And this is a Page in My Diary podcast where we will be sharing our thoughts and opinions on past and current events and life experiences.
Today we will be talking about sibling rivalry.
So for those of you all who don't know, me and Spring are sisters.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest.
I'm the fourth girl. No, not the fourth girl, but I'm the fourth kid, second girl.
Right. And I'm the second kid, first girl.
Mm-hmm.
And we are technically half sisters, but we don't really refer to each other as half sisters.
Mm-hmm.
We never have, and we never will. But I do think because, and this topic is going to give you all the opportunity to get to know me and Spring better, because we're going to be putting out podcasts monthly, and we're going to be talking about a variety of topics. So this is just more of a get to know us. But I want to dig into sibling rivalry because it's a real thing. So I'm going to let Spring talk about her experience growing up, because we didn't grow up together. She grew up in Chicago. I grew up in North Carolina. So I'll let her tell y'all about her experience growing up and the siblings that she lived with and that dynamic. And then I'll talk about mine briefly. And then we'll kind of chop it up.
Okay, so as you guys may know, of course, we're sisters. We come from a big family of 7. So I'm number 4, right in the middle. And I didn't live with LaTanya as growing up. So I grew up as the oldest to the 3 youngest. So I grew up being the oldest until we got together. Then it was hard because I wasn't the oldest no more. It was like I'm, the middle.
How did we get together?
Mom, she always wanted us to be together, and y'all didn't want to come to Chicago. So she uprooted our lives and moved us to North Carolina.
Pretty much. Yeah. And then for me, I moved to North Carolina when I was 6. Me and Spring briefly lived together, but she was like 2 or 3. I don't think she has a memory. Mm-hmm. And I briefly remember living with Spring. So I grew up as I was second born, but I was the oldest girl, and since we have different dads, I was his only girl. And so I grew up as an only girl. Mm-hmm. So you could just imagine, they moved to North Carolina, and initially I'm excited, but when they actually got here, it was like a whole different story. I'm like, I don't know how to be a sister.
Right.
Like I don't know how to be a sister because I felt like I didn't have sisters growing up. I did, but it just didn't feel like I had sisters. So it was really weird. I have this big personality, and Spring do too. Like, she was the big sister.
I'm shy. I'm quiet.
Whatever. She do too, and she, like she said, she was the big sister to everybody. But then I don't know, was I trying to big sister you? I know I definitely did it to Genesis and Jariel and Josh, but
well, not really, and I think it's because by the time we got out there, I was turning 21.
Right.
So I was kind of, I think I'm grown. I'm grown. So you can't tell me what to do.
Right.
Or whatever. I think it was harder on Michael, the oldest, the first kid, to be a big brother.
You think so?
Yes.
I never thought about that.
I think it was hardest on Michael to be a big brother to us.
Right.
Because by that time, we all set in our own ways.
Yeah. And like Spring said, so let's just tell them like how far apart. My mom had 7 kids, and me, so it's Michael, it's the oldest, and then I was born a year later, and then Malik, the third born, was born after that. We all have the same dad, and we were all born a year apart. And then
me,
Spring came.
I came along. I was one of those love childs that just came about. But my mom loved my dad. I'm just gonna always say that they were in love.
Sure, your dad was cute too.
He was. And I have my own dad. So they have a dad, 3 of them. I have my own dad, and then the 3 youngest, which is Genesis, Joshua, and Jariel, they have their own dad.
Right.
So I'm right in the middle, and I'm always different.
Right. And tell them really briefly about how you met. Like, so me and my brothers, my dad never had any more children. I'm not even sure about Genesis and them dad. I don't know if he have any more children, but Spring got more siblings. Tell them really quickly about how you met all your siblings.
So I kind of, so like throughout the years of me being growing up, I kind of knew a little bit about my dad's side of the family because he died when I was young. And my mom, I think she tried her best to keep me in contact with them, but you know how life just goes on other kids, you just do your own thing. So like, I knew my granny. Hey Granny Marilyn. So I always knew her. She was always in contact with me. And when I moved to North Carolina, so I'm new in North Carolina, bored, because I'm from Illinois, don't know what to do. It's real old and country out here, slow. And
don't be coming for North Carolina.
And I don't know, it was just one day, I forgot how we all kind of linked. My auntie on my dad's side, she wrote me and was like, yeah, we've been looking for you. We've been looking for you all this time. It's you. I'm about to, is it okay if everybody can add you? And I was like, sure, I guess. And that's how I ended up getting to know through Facebook that I have an older brother that stays in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have another brother that stays in Illinois. Like most of my family on my dad's side is in Illinois. And I have a sister that's my age that she stays in Illinois too. So that's how we all like linked up.
And her sister looked just like her.
Yeah.
Scary.
We really do. And we the same age. I think I'm older by a couple months.
Right.
My daddy was out there, clearly.
Yeah, but she just told me one day, like, girl, I met all my siblings.
Yeah.
And I was looking at them on Facebook like, oh my God, you look like them.
Mm-hmm. And my daughter looks like them too as well.
She really
so
does.
that's where she gets those looks from.
For real. Okay, so I have a question. And if you got a question for me, just feel free. I got a question. So how do you feel like they are half siblings? Like, would you refer to them as half siblings as well? Like, how is the dynamic for you having siblings only by your dad with a different mom opposed to like us, we all got the same mom?
Well, I don't really go by the term half siblings. Those my brothers and my sister. I'm just not close to them as I am to y'all because we don't know each other. And we met each other when we was way grown, all in our own ways. We all have different lifestyles. So I try to keep in touch with them, though. I always keep in touch with them.
Right. Why do you think people would refer to a sibling as a half sibling? If they don't have the same parents, why do you think that happens sometimes? And do you think that can spark rivalry?
Yes, I think it sparks rivalry. I don't know how that happens because I just can't see parents like, oh, that's your half sibling, that's your half sister, even though y'all growing up in the house together, you know. But it does, especially when it comes to the fathers, if one father's around and the other one's not. So
I think so too. And I wrote notes. I think it's easier to call somebody with a different dad a half sibling opposed to somebody with the same mom, because more than likely you're going to live together with the same mom. Mm-hmm. And you may not always live with your dad, even though that's not the case for us. And that's why, back to us, we never had a real rivalry. Mm-hmm. My mama don't play that. My mama would get on a cross and crucify herself as if she was Jesus. And I'm not even exaggerating. Before she let us be beefing with each other for real, she would smoke a whole carton of Newports. But it was tension. Like, let's just talk about the tension. It was tension. Me and Genesis got in some arguments, But I think this is my perspective, and Spring can share hers. I think my biggest, the tension and maybe the irritation was I finally had to I think initially, let me backtrack, Mama was just trying to force these relationships that we hadn't formed with each other yet. And so I just think it took time for us to get to know each other, because literally, last time I had lived with Spring, she was 3. And then we back together, and I'm 24 and she 21. But
don't get it wrong. We always been connected.
Right.
It's just, they'll come for the summer or a couple weeks, and then after that we don't ever see them no more.
Yeah.
Don't talk to them on the phone or nothing like that. Then you and Malik start coming and Michael stopped coming. Yeah. So I think it was more weird not weird, but hard to get to know Michael. Because I personally didn't know Michael more than I knew you. Because remember, I came and stayed at your house when I was like 16 for like a couple weeks.
I think that's why me and Spring probably be getting on each other's nerves. But we don't really get into it like that. I mean, I'm always arguing with Malik. Hey, Malik, love you, bro. I will argue with Genesis any day of the week. Love her though. But me and Spring, we don't really be getting into it like that. I know I be getting on my nerves too, because she's spoiled. She's the brat. She's the brat of the family. She not even the youngest. But I think we bonded that summer.
We did.
For real, because
and you know, Malik came and lived with us.
He did for like a week.
Yeah.
No,
he actually did.
He really did.
Yeah.
How long?
He was with us for about a couple months. You know, Chicago not for everybody. Look, he was out of here real fast. As soon as he came, he worked one job and was gone.
No, I'm going to tell you what happened. I'm sorry, Malik. Please don't be mad at me. I remember I was pregnant with LJ, and I promised you, because you had came to visit me the summer before, me and Spring bonded. I was 19. She was like,
I was 16.
16, had no business staying with me for the whole summer, but it's all good.
My mom and them actually left me there.
For real. And I promised her, I'm coming to your graduation, because she was getting a lot of backlash. People was trying to play her like she wasn't gonna graduate, but I had confidence in her. I'm like, well, when you graduate, I'm coming. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I'm coming. And so when she graduated, I had to be there. And I think Malik kind of caught wind of like, oh, you coming? And he hit me up real smooth, like, y'all got room for me to ride?
It just ain't for everybody.
I get it.
It ain't for everybody.
I would never move back to Chicago right now, today. I might change my mind, but right now, today, I don't think so.
Well, I do. I want to go back.
So do you think that's also, I think another, one point that I wanted to make, I think sibling rivalry can root from a lot of different things. I think not growing up together is one, and then not respecting a person's individuality, which Mama, once again, shout out to you. She always do a good job. She respects our individuality and honors that. And I think she taught us to do that with each other. And so me and Spring are very different. We have a lot of things in common, but it's more on like experiences. Like, we girls, we the oldest, we got kids. You know, we out here living that single mom life. But we are very different. Like, I'm this country girl, this, you know, loud country girl, all over the place. And,
you know, I've changed. I used to like
be girly, and Spring is. I don't think you ever been loud.
I used to be, you know, loud and out there, but mother life changed me. But I'm still very much city like. Yeah,
but you're way more laid back than me.
Yeah,
way more.
I think I'm the most laid back girl that mom has.
I think, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're the most laid back, and so just our personalities is different. Like I said, I'm like this princess, like only girl, and you know,
I'm just more plain Jane. Seriously,
like we be going shopping together, which I don't know why.
Never works.
Cause it don't never work. One time it was me, Spring, and Genesis, and Josh wanted to tag along. He was mad after he was at Rainbow for an hour.
I remember that.
We walked out the store. But Spring wanted our help, but you know,
I didn't like nothing they was picking.
Right. So,
because you know, I like plain white tees, and you know, I probably do a little flower at the top, but that's about
and I think I was pulling out like polka dot dresses, and
you know, Genesis pulling out all black cat suits.
So yeah, I think respecting each other's individuality. And I have a question for you, because I only have one child. Spring has 3. And so I know one thing that can be a root to sibling rivalry is favoritism. And I think we've had this conversation before. I think for a minute, I don't think none of the boys cared. They don't care. They don't care. But the girls, probably not Jariel, but me and Genesis, we felt like Mama favored you. Probably spoke to her separately about it. I get it now. I don't think she favored you. I don't think she favored you no more. I just didn't understand y'all's relationship at the time. But I think favoritism, because parents do show favoritism towards kids sometimes. They literally do. And that can cause a world of trouble. Just want to put this in here real quick. For anybody that reads the Bible, it's a story in there about Joseph. And he was half siblings to, I think, 11 or 10 or 11 his brothers. And his dad favored him. And they took his coat, threw him in the thing, sold him off to slavery. They did all that to him because they were jealous. And that's just a small example. We see countless stories of that. So how do you not show favoritism amongst your 3 kids, or do you? And are you, like, if you do you catch yourself, or how do you do it?
I don't think I show favoritism towards none of them. They are all my favorites at times. But I don't know. It's like I try to keep them all equal. You know, it's really hard doing that when you have a daughter that's headstrong, the oldest, and she knows when something ain't right. So I try to make sure everything is equal and even between the girls, because my son don't even care. He don't care. He is actually the favorite right now of everybody in the house because he is the baby. So I just try to keep them even and equal.
Right. Do you think Kennedy, she 3 now, do you think she noticed inequality like Serenity, or do you think she noticed it yet, or?
She does a little bit when it comes to, like, they both do it when it comes to getting stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can't get one thing for one and not get it for the other one.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because they gonna know.
Right.
Or, like, when I have the kids with me in Serenity at school and we just be out and I buy them McDonald's or something, then maybe this is wrong. But I try to make sure it's no traces of McDonald's in the car when Serenity get in the car.
No.
Because she will get in the car and be mad. Why you didn't take me to McDonald's? Why I don't have, where's my McDonald's? Now she's crying because she feels left out. So now I'm feeling guilty. Now we gotta go to the playland and sit there with all them screaming kids for 2 hours to make Serenity happy.
Oh, Lord. Dang, I had another question. How do you give equal time? I know you said Jaden the favorite because he the baby. So obviously he, like, literally just turned 1. So he's still a baby. But how do you share your time with Serenity and Kennedy equally? Because they both like attention. I don't know. Am I wrong? I love my nieces and nephews, y'all. I feel like Serenity don't require as much attention as she used to, but I don't live here, so I don't know. I just feel like she kind of growing up a little bit, so she is not constantly wanting attention like Kennedy. But I don't know. How do they do you the mama?
Maybe I could do better on showing them attention, like going and giving it to them, because they give it to me all day, all day.
Right.
So, like, Serenity will catch me up in the kitchen while I'm doing something, and we'll have a full-blown conversation for like 45 minutes about whatever she's talking about. And then Kennedy will come by and see us talking and come in like, but Mama, guess what? So then now my attention is to Kennedy, and I'm listening to her talk. Or, you know, like sometimes when Serenity goes to sleep first, Kennedy come to bed with me. And I don't kick her out. Even though, you know, I really adamant on my kids sleeping in their own beds. Seriously. Or sometimes I wake up and they all in the bed with me. So. But Serenity get a lot of time because I be helping her do her homework. And Kennedy's sad because she don't got no homework. So we got to make something for her. And then Jaden, all my kids are smart. Because Jaden know he want to do something too. So now I got to get him a crayon and a piece of paper to put on the table so he can write. So it's constant all day, attention grabbing all day. You know, Kennedy the type, she'll take it from you. You'll just be sitting there and she'll just come stand in your face, sit on your lap.
Yeah, she's very affectionate. She really is. Well, good luck with dealing with all those different personalities.
I know.
But you're doing a good job, though, for real. I wrote some more questions down. Where do you feel like you stand this is back to our siblinghood. Where do you think you stand in amongst the 7?
In the middle.
How does it feel though? Like, how do you feel about your role in our family? Because I'm about to get real on mine, so you go ahead and say what you gotta say.
I just always felt in the middle. I just feel in the middle, cause like everybody has their own dad, and it's like a group of them with their own dad, so they all have something in common. And even though the first set and the last set don't have the same daddy, I felt like y'all always had something in common versus me, because y'all, you know, y'all all come from one person, and it's just me. And you know, don't nobody know my daddy, don't nobody know nothing about my other side of the family, not even a little bit. So I just always felt like I had to, you know.
Do it feel lonely sometimes?
No.
It don't feel lonely?
No.
Oh. I would think it would. That sounds kind of...
It
don't like a loner in the family. I don't think you're the loner though. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it just didn't matter growing up really.
Right.
Because like I said, I grew up as the oldest. So like Genesis, Josh, and Jariel, we all grew up together, but I was the oldest. So they kind of looked up to me. Right.
So you being like directly in the middle of like marriage 1, marriage 2, and then you somewhere in the middle. We're older than you, they're younger than you. How do you relate to the first group? How do you relate to the second group? I feel like you bridge the gap.
Yeah, I probably do. I think so too, because I'm right there in the middle.
Like, how do you feel about the oldest? Like when you be like, oh, my older, like Michael, I ain't gonna tell his age, but he getting up there. So like, how do you feel about having older siblings sometimes?
I like y'all. Y'all cool, I guess. I guess it was more easier. It was more easy for me to get along with y'all when we first got down here, because I wasn't too old,
right,
and I wasn't too young.
Yeah.
You know, so like, and y'all know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Technically, I don't remember growing up with them or being around them, but they got stories. Yeah. So it's like, you know, Michael always got stories about me being a kid. I don't even remember.
I guess he will remember the most. So what about the youngest? Like, our baby sister is 17. Mm-hmm. So that's how many years younger than me? I ain't even tell my age, but I'm over 10 years older than her. So for me, it was hard to connect. I always loved Genesis and Josh, but I feel like I'm literally just connecting with them.
Really?
Yeah, because when y'all moved here, I was 24. I had just moved to my own place. So I'm like literally like adulting. Mm-hmm. I had a 2-year-old when y'all got here, and they were like 12 and 14, and so I was just like them kids, right? Even though they was my siblings, and they look to me, I know as a big sister, but also as a grown up, right? So I'm finally like, me and Josh be talking about some stuff. You know, Jariel be telling me her stuff now, and I'll be like, oh my god, I'm finally bonding with them. Something you already had, right, but I'm just now getting that. So it's weird. Me and Genesis be hanging out. Like, for real. Like, she old enough now where we can hang out like friends. For real. Alright, so I guess I can kind of talk about my role in the family. How I feel as the oldest girl, the second born oldest girl. I don't like it all the time. I like the authority. Mm-hmm. Because I'm bossy or a leader, whichever one you want to call me. So I'm one of the people where Genesis said the other day, like, I get stuff done. I'm dependable and reliable for the most part. And I guess I naturally do that, but I don't always want to do that. I don't always want to be that person. So just recently too, like when they first got down here, it was the getting to know them. I didn't mind doing all that stuff, but now I be like, leave me alone. Mm-hmm. What you want? For real. Like, straight up, Josh texted me at some point a couple weeks ago, it was like, you busy? I was like, I don't know. What do you want? Like, I don't know. What do you want? So, and Josh know I love him, but like, I think, I don't know, this getting into my next question, but I think I love my siblings, but it's more responsibility being the oldest. Would you agree? Yes. Like, people look to you for things. Any function, they know, like, well, Tonya got everything in order. Mm-hmm. Did she text everybody? Did she put everybody in group chat? All that. So, I don't know. That can be overwhelming for me sometimes. And that just is what it is. But I naturally am that person. Like, I be kicking and screaming to, like, don't ask me for nothing. I want to set my boundaries with people. And then
the first one, sending invitations to everybody come to her house for a party.
Having Sunday dinners. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure that out. So I had another question, and we're gonna I'll probably ask like a couple more questions, and we'll close out for the night. It was, how important is your relationship with your siblings? Like, where's the hierarchy of your relationship with your siblings at when it comes to like important relationships in your life?
I think they'd be like at the top. You know, you always want to have a relationship with your siblings because they're more closer to you than like your cousins, your grannies. You can always depend on them. And since I got a lot of them, you know, if one don't come through, I'll call out 5 the rest of them. Somebody gonna come through. Because, you know, I'm the middle, so everybody's mutual with me. It ain't never no beef.
It's really nice. So, I have to agree too. But I will say, because I didn't grow up with them, I didn't grow up with them, so it was just me and my 2 brothers. I will say, when me and my 2 brothers, Michael and Malik, when we all like moved out the house and we were young, we were like 18, 19, 20, we had it was like a couple years where we kind of distanced ourselves from each other, and it wasn't no beef, it was just,
we just living.
Yeah, we distanced ourselves from each other, but that was just brief, maybe a year and a half or 2. And then when I had LJ, I was the first kid to have a baby. That brought us like immediately back together, and we've been like tight like this. So I think that relationship is very important. You know, outside of my relationship with my child, my relationship with my mom, I think your relationship with your parents is important. They're almost like friends. Mm-hmm. But it's sad though, because we're saying this, and that's a blessing for us. But I know siblings that don't rock with each other, and that's sad. I know. That's sad to me to see siblings arguing, or even just to not be able to move past it and still be able to come together. Like, that's your sister or that's your brother. You know, y'all gonna need each other one day. Yeah. I mean, even if it's just to have somebody to talk to. Right. I have seen situations where people didn't talk to their siblings for years. I seen a very extreme situation where a lady's sister died and she didn't go to her sister's funeral. And I'm just like, yo, like, and I feel like it's a perfect, like, God gives us siblings. Because those are going to be like our closest friends in life, and they gonna have our back when mom and daddy gone, if it happened that way, and you ain't even speaking. Like, that's crazy. So I don't know. I think I have one more question. It was about boundaries, because we close now. Like, that tension that happened 6 years ago now, out the door. We're all very close, but we're all different ages, ranging from 30 to 17. So we got our own lives. 2, our lives intertwine and connect, but just like I was saying in Preaching and Hollering, I want my privacy, I want my autonomy, I want to live my own life too. And so, how do you have boundaries with us? Because we can be in each other's business, and try to put our opinions on things. It happens. Or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can overstep. So how do you try to maintain boundaries if you can?
That's hard for me because I love to talk and tell people all my business. Then I get mad because now they trying to tell me how to live my life off the business I just told them. So what I'm trying to do better is, just certain things you just keep to yourself,
And you really be wanting to tell your sister,
yeah, all the time. You be like, nah, I'm not gonna tell them.
Right.
But don't nobody come to my house really, except for Latanya. So
I'm about to say I be over there.
I keep so that
But I just be trying to wear. So our kids can play together. I be like, if I take LJ over there, he gonna wear himself out because they gonna be fighting and playing and stuff. He love to play outside with her. Oh yeah, it's gonna wear them out. And our kid, I love it because our kids, they be fussing now, but they're really close. They gonna grow up together. I think that's really awesome. I keep my boundaries now. I think for a minute I didn't know how to keep boundaries, but I don't know. I think it's something about getting older. The older you get, the more and more you be like, I love my family, but this is my business. Yeah. As for me and my house, we ain't gonna tell our business. LJ don't be telling my business. Not even to Granny or Spring. And it's not that I'm trying to keep secrets, but some things I just want to inform them about when I want them to know. And some things, you don't have to have your siblings all in your business. You know what I'm saying? It's you still got to know who you are outside of them. And I think we're all doing that. Everybody has their own life. And the person who got the most going on is the 17-year-old. Yeah. For real.
She be booked.
She has the best. She out here living her best life. Like Snoop Dogg. I think that's all the questions that I wrote down. You have any questions, Spring?
No.
I will say this. I have one more question. What's the best thing about being my sister? I'm going to tell you the best thing about you being my sister. My favorite thing about Spring being my sister is she is my meme person. Like, me and Spring tag each other in memes all day, every day. If you don't have a person that you can tag in memes, then your life sucks. You ain't got no real ones in your life. Because I'll wake up some mornings and it'll be like 7 notifications from Spring. Or she'll wake up some mornings and it'll be like 7, 8 notifications from me.
After like the third tag, you be like, damn, am I doing too much? It's just Tanya.
Right.
It's funny. She gonna think it's funny.
And I'm telling you, that is my favorite thing. I know when I see something funny, you want to share it with somebody. I'm like, let me tag Spring in this. So I love that about Spring.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing about Latanya is, no. Me and Latanya, we have a weird relationship because we both changed over the years, but we still remained friends. And I like talking to Latanya because she'll come to you and you'll just spill all your beans and it's a great conversation, and then you end up in the middle of a debate. You always like, it's a debate that she gonna win. But you know it's gonna happen. So it's like, okay, Latanya, like that one morning you called me. No, you called me at night. You was like, I just gotta hurry up and get off the phone. I want to tell you this one thing. You told me what you had to say, and then you proceeded to tell me about the Kodak Black thing. You asked me how I felt about it, but then you told me your opinion, and that's how we ended the conversation.
Right. Yeah, I'm a debater. Look, if you want to exercise your mind and work on your debate skills and dive into current events, I'm the person. I'm down for that all day, every day. Well, Spring, I don't know. This is a good podcast. I'm really excited. I loved our conversation. Y'all just don't know. This is taking it easy. Like, this is a very fun, light, introductory podcast. We're going to be talking about some real deep stuff, some real controversial stuff. If y'all know me, y'all already know I don't got no filter. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, and I'm going to give my opinion. Period.
I just said that.
So, all right, Spring, we'll let you close out. We want to close out with something fun every time. So we're gonna always close out with like a question or something, a fun question. And so Spring has a question that she want to close out with.
Okay. So Latanya, other than me, because obviously I know it's me, who is your favorite sibling?
Oh, you trying to start some sibling rivalries already?
Yeah.
Let's see. Can I plead the fifth?
No.
After
You can't
this-
pick everybody at once.
I've been saying this for years, and I'm gonna just stick with my one person because he's my safe answer. Josh, my favorite.
I knew you was gonna say Josh.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all why Josh my favorite, and it ain't no shade to Michael, Malik, Genesis, and Jariel. I love y'all so much. Josh just be chilling, man.
Yeah.
Josh just be chilling. He the most laid back.
Yeah.
Even though Michael laid back, Josh is more laid back than him. You can be in the same room with Josh and you won't even realize he there sometimes. But when he want to talk, he be talking about politics, feminism, pro-black stuff. He hate Trump. Like everything I love to talk about. So he funny. And he got like a weird, like, sarcastic sense of humor. Josh ain't about no drama.
Yeah.
So he not gonna let me be my worst self. Like he ain't gonna do the drama with me. And so I appreciate that. That's my homie. Josh be chilling. He be asking for stuff, but it don't even bother me. I don't mind doing it for Josh. Who your favorite? Since you asked me that hard question, outside of me, the other six, who is your favorite?
You took my answer because Josh is my favorite.
Oh, it's Josh.
Yes.
What? Okay, Josh. We're going to have to bring him on the podcast and give him an award.
Josh is my favorite on the low key level. Josh easy to talk to.
Yeah.
That's my homie.
Yeah. And he's so sweet.
I was about to say that. He's so sweet and sarcastic. And then now he done brought his little girlfriend around.
Yeah, and she's so sweet too.
It took me a long time to agree because that's my homie.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's for me too. Like my first time meeting Josh, I'd never seen him as a baby, which I'm kind of sad about. He was 1 year old, and he didn't really understand who I was in his life at the time. So he just like for I don't know how many weird years he liked me because he didn't know who I was, and I was so much older than him. He was like, "Who this teenager?
Right.
I'm just 2." So yeah, Josh, that's the homie. But I love all my siblings though. Michael, Yak, he be holding it down. He gonna catch a body.
Exactly.
He gonna catch a body.
Exactly.
Malik.
Michael will always do that time for us.
Right.
Just know that.
Malik is a real one. Malik got your back. Malik is that person that is gonna keep it 1,000 with you.
Yeah.
He is not a yes person, and you don't need yes people around. You need somebody that's gonna challenge you and tell you about yourself. And that's Malik. And I appreciate that. For real.
And actually, even though Malik, I ain't seen my brother Malik in like months. I keep telling everybody where Malik, everybody done seen him. I ain't seen Malik.
I was about to say, I've been seeing him.
I don't never see Malik. But one day I called him. It was about my credit score. No, I just called Malik because I ain't talked to him. I'm like, hey, Malik, young. So what you doing calling me? Oh, it's about my credit score. And he into stuff like that. And I needed help. So I don't know where he was at. Somewhere far away. And I couldn't figure it out. Malik came all the way to my house. It was like 10 o'clock at night to show me how to do my credit score.
See?
That's
always trying to make you your best self. Genesis, man.
She gonna tell you what it is straightforward.
She really is. It's so crazy. I was just telling Mama the other day, her and Malik, me and Genesis are more similar, and then Spring and Jariel are more similar. But Genesis and Malik, I feel like are a lot alike.
Yes, I agree.
She almost like the girl version of Malik. Genesis gonna keep you 1,000, so she gonna keep you straight. She's so dependable and reliable too.
Yes.
Like she moved down here. I was like 24. She helped me Excuse me, I'm sorry, y'all. She was a big help with me and my son. Initially, she watched him like almost her whole junior year. He was bad, like straight up. And she did it, and she just Genesis a rider.
She is.
Like that's when I like Genesis a rider. She got your back with whatever. Sometimes she be more hyped than you.
Exactly. I was just about to say, even if you don't even got your back, she got your back.
Right. And I appreciate that. And we done glitched over Josh the whole time, but Jariel, that's my baby. I love Jariel. Jariel is hilarious. Jariel is the baby. So I guess she's the brat now. I don't think she a brat. I don't know what. They're trying to put that on her. Jariel's sweet, and she do everything she's supposed to do. She get good grades.
Yeah,
she's great in basketball. I mean, let me just brag on her for a minute. She was a freshman, and she started as a freshman, and so she good. Been playing basketball since she was
like in 6th grade.
Yeah, so she
runs track, and she
got a ring. And she's very popular too, and it's so crazy. She's very popular, and that stuff don't even faze her.
Yeah,
that stuff don't make her cocky or all that. So that's she just do what she's supposed to do. She not acting crazy. So like for real, I didn't even talk about myself.
We was just talking about that the other day, me, Genesis, and Jariel. we was telling Jariel how I don't know if you had it, but like when you older and you don't really got friends, you gotta have like a wingman. It's always a little cousin. So like it was Nene with me. So I was kind of like her wingman. I was always with Nene as young. Like I was literally like 16. I was in college though. Them people really thought I was literally only like a junior, maybe even a sophomore. But they thought I was a freshman in college because I was always with my cousin. And then I did it to Genesis kind of a little bit. And Jariel was like, well, y'all can do it to me. But I was like, I can't do it to you, Jariel, because Genesis got to do it. But Genesis ain't even about that life.
Shoot, Genesis about to be my wingman in Vegas. I don't know. That's the thing. See, that's the thing. But just back to our Jariel is just way too young.
Yeah.
To be my wingman.
She just too young.
Yeah.
And when Genesis was doing her little thing out, and she was way too young.
Yeah, you're right.
So Jariel missed her beat. She don't have to do it by herself.
Yeah. But yeah. That's our sibling relationship. Ain't no rivalries. Could have been. That's the thing. Like I think about it sometimes. I'm like, we could deal with each other in a whole different way, considering different parents. Mama could have been the type of person that picked favorites. Cause I know some people they favorite certain kids over other ones because of who their daddy is or who their mama is, how they look. I hate to say that. We gonna get into colorism and all that. And that's unfortunate, or they just manipulative, so they pit others against each other, or they compare. Mama, I don't think she's ever compared us. And I don't think you should ever compare. You can't say, well, what's the name doing this? Okay, that's what's the name. These two different people.
Right.
And so I'm just grateful that we got. I'm so for real too. Like I'm telling y'all, I don't got abundance of friends, but I got my siblings. So grateful for that. Alrighty.
Sidebar. Let me just tell y'all how it's so many of us. And one day I was taking Genesis to work or whatever, and she works over there. I'm not telling y'all where she work at, but she worked close to this diner that my older brother loved. Right, Carolina Diner, right. So she had a little bit of time. We was just riding, and we just so happened to see his car parked in Carolina Diner. So we about to go crash this. Right. Don't know who there. He could have been there with his girlfriend or whoever, but we went. Our oldest brother Michael and Malik was just casually having a breakfast date, and they ain't invite nobody. And we just walked right in on them and sat down. Because that's how we do it. It's just so many of us. That's
really
why I like having so many of us.
Yeah, that's so true. It really is. And that's the last thing we really got to get out of here. Y'all don't know. It's late. Like our kids ain't in the bed yet. And that's not cool. Our gatherings are so much fun. And we don't have to invite no outside people for it to be jumping and lit.
Right. It's always a party.
Wow.
Always.
We be having so much fun. And it's just 7 of us. But now people got fiancés and friends and boyfriends and kids.
So it's always a party.
It really is. And I love it. I love it. So we're gonna end on that note, Spring.
All right.
Bye y'all.